Hello everyone, Professor Toybox here along with Princess Jasmine, and we're back in my Agrabah Palace Dungeon toy box, which is based on alpha footage of the Disney Infinity 4.0 Kingdoms project. Today I'm going to show you how to build two additional traps, the Masher and the Swinging Pendulum. You won't see either of these traps in the 4.0 alpha video. I came up with these on my own after I did some experimenting to see what other kinds of toys were available in the 3.0 toy box that we could use to make traps with. The first one is the Masher, and you'll find this toy in the platforming toys drawer. And you can customize its appearance using the same styles as the blocks in the blocks drawer. And I've styled mine to match the Dunbrock Castle brick. And I need to place two over here underneath this little walkway. I'm going to drop one there and one there. And just like the rocket engine and the spiked floor, it's easy to make a trap out of it. You'll notice by default that when you place a Masher in your toy box, it'll trigger automatically every few seconds. But you can create a logic connection to it from another toy to trigger it on demand. And so I've got this button set up over here. We can do a new logic connection when pressed. We can come over to each of the Mashers. Here we go. And do action. And as soon as we do, you'll notice that one is not dropping automatically anymore. So it only goes by demand when I push the button. And I want to do the same thing with the other one when pressed. Come down to this Masher and do action. And there you go. It's a really easy trap to build. There's not much to it. But the fact that we can make a logic connection to it in order to trigger the trap when we want is the key that we need, and that does work on enemies. So when an enemy walks underneath there, as you saw in the playthrough video back in episode 18, it does smash them. So that's great. And I've already dropped down two other Mashers over in the main chamber over here, and they're up on this platform. And the button that controls them is up here on top of this little platform. So we need to make the same logic connection from here over to these as well. Because this whole time those have been going up and down, and you've probably heard them in a couple of my other videos. So this will stop that annoying noise. And there we go. So that's it for the Masher. Now the Swinging Pendulum trap is a little bit trickier. We're going to put that in over here, and you'll find the Swinging Pendulum again under the platforming toys drawer just a little bit to the left. There's several of them. There's this generic one, which is also, as you can see, customized by whatever the block's current theme happens to be. There's also a rock hammer pendulum, and we already used the saw blades up in the other lava pit. So I'm going to use the rock hammer pendulum, and I'm going to drop this right down here over this platform. And I'll put it right over that scene. And it's 3 blocks high, so the top of that pendulum is right at the ceiling height. So that's perfect. And when you drop it, it automatically swings back and forth. Now, you can connect it to a level starter to stop it swinging. And we already put down a level starter, oops, in an earlier video. It stuck me up here where the other blades were. And the level starter is down here by the gate. So I'm going to come over to this. And we'll do a new logic connection on catalyze. And we'll come over to our lava chamber over here, to the Swinging Pendulum, and I'm going to turn it off. And let's just go ahead and put it in that state by pushing this button. I've got this button over here, as you recall, and it put me up in Jafar's tower. That's right, we got to come out over here. So in an earlier video, I'd hooked this button up to the level starter, and so we'll push that. That will also generate the guards over there behind the gate, but I don't need them right now, so I'll hit this button for my reset, which will take them out. And then back into spark mode and over to the lava chamber, and you'll notice now the pendulum is no longer swinging because we've turned that off. There's no way to really accurately predict which side this is going to be on when it receives the off signal from the level starter. The way I've got this set in here right now, it's on the left, but as soon as I add the ceilings in, that might switch over to be on the right. So that's one of the reasons I've placed it over this walkway with room for it to swing on either side. My initial thought had been to put the walkway along a wall and leave little alcoves in the wall and have that thing stop up inside one of those alcoves, so it was kind of out of the way and not real visible. But again, since you can't really predict where that's going to stop, that's not real easy to do, so that's why I've done it over this walkway that's out in the middle of the lava. And we're going to need a button, so I'm going to come up to the drawer up here and we'll drop a button right over here. And for the button, we'll use that new logic connection when pressed to turn back on the pendulum. And there, when you push the button, that'll turn the pendulum back on. Now, I'd like to have it swing one time across and one time back. And so in order to get it to do that, we're going to have to turn it off after a little period of time. So I'm going to come out over here and we're going to drop down a time delayer. And I'm going to use that to put the pendulum back in the off state. There it is. So we'll drop this out over here. And I've timed this out. It's just shy of 4 seconds rather. So I'm going to put this at 3, because almost 4 seconds it takes for the pendulum to swing to the other side and back. So 3 seconds gives it enough time. And so when we push the button, not only will we turn on the pendulum, but we'll do a new logic connection when pressed. Come over to the level, or to the time delayer and start the delay. And then on the time delayer, a new logic connection when the delay is completed. Come over here to the rock hammer and turn it back off. Ah! And put me back up here again. Okay, let's see. Looks like I can put myself down right here. There we go. Okay, so now when we push the button, that swings, and then it comes back and recatches and stops. And so that way it only swings one time and the trap automatically resets, so I can use it again if I want. So that works out pretty good. And of course, the nice thing is that the pendulums will hit enemies too, and not just players, like you saw in the playthrough video of this toy box back in episode 18, so it makes a good trap. So that's it for these two traps. I'm sure there are others that we can come up with, but these fit the theme of my toy box. Next time I'll show you how to build a covered pit, like the one that we saw in the 4.0 alpha footage. In the meantime, I want to thank you for watching, and thank you to all of my subscribers for your positive comments and feedback. I'm glad many of you are enjoying this series so far. If you're not a subscriber yet and you like Disney Infinity, I encourage you to click my photo below or the follow button on my blog so you'll never miss an episode. And for those of you who want to build this toy box for yourself, be sure to visit my blog where you'll find floor plans and logic diagrams to help you out. Until next time, take care.